So with the sinuses, the consciousness coming through the pineal and the pituitary, I would say, is pure white light. And in the sphenoidal sinus, it becomes a golden light of the sun. I liken it to when the afferents and efferents separated. The sun became afferents and the planet became efferents. I think this is like the sun. It's like this sinus of inspiration, light. It's the central sinus of communication with all the other sinuses. So when you look at the other sinuses, they're dual. This is one sinus. It's like the inspirational office of all the other rooms. So by paying attention to the middle of the forehead here, we're getting in touch with that sinus of inspiration. So it's the room where the energy of the pineal and the pituitary, which is a total abstract communication, and then all the other sinuses feed back into that as well. So that sinus is like a golden, translucent sun. Now the frontal sinus is just over the eyebrows, two frontal sinuses. The other sinuses are dual. So it's the afferent communication of awareness. The beam of light from the sphenoidal sinus shines through, and it changes its colour in the frontal sinus and becomes translucent blue mauve, like the evening sky. Now, this is a sinus that when we're in communication with another person, we're picking up some thought. Also, even if we're thinking of them, and they could be at a distance, and then you're amazed, the phone rings, and you've just been thinking of that person, and they ring you or text you or something. That's the frontal sinus communication. It's at the mental level of afferent communication. Now, the ethmoidal sinuses are just between on the bridge of the nose, between the eyes. And they're a chemical communication of air going through into the lungs. It's a communication of air. And of course, it has a communication with the sense of smell. And that also shines its light back into the sphenoidal sinus. Now, the antrums are down just on the side of the nose. There are two quite big sinuses there. They're an efferent communication of data. So they're an intermediary between the afferent sinuses of inspiration and the efferent communication of data. It's a marvellous construction, this head, isn't it? Yeah. So it's particularly nice when the sinuses are free because our heads are clear and the communication is free. And the mastoid are the two sinuses at the back of the ears. And without blockage, they are an outgoing energy full of creative communication.